time out of our busy lives to go for an enjoyable and beneficial hike in the natural spaces available to us will do us a tremendous amount of good. I consider myself to be an outdoorsman, and I've explored canyons and rivers, and state parks and national forests, from remote wilderness areas to urban greenways. And I can tell you all that there are few things in life more satisfying than going for a hike in the great outdoors. Today, I'd like to persuade all of you to go hiking as an efficient form of exercise, as an effective way to reduce the stress from urban life, and as an affordable and convenient way to get away from it all. Well, why should we go trudging off into the woods here where we might miss an email or a phone call? Well, we don't get enough moderate aerobic activity. The Center for Disease Control website defines moderate aerobic activity as exercise that will cause an increase in heart rate and breathing to the point where you can talk, but you might have a hard time singing. And more than half of adults in the United States don't get enough of it. Recommended is 2.5 hours per week just to maintain good health. And inactive adults run a greater risk of heart disease, stroke, cancer, type 2 diabetes, and depression. And the first three of these are the leading cause of death in adults in the United States today. Life in an urban environment causes stress that creates shock and affects our behavior in a negative way. According to the article Urban Environments and Human Behavior, published by the Elsevier Science and Technology Department at Oxford, we struggle with environmental overload. Overstimulation from traffic, noise, pollution, overcrowding, negative odors, fear of violence and crime, all change our behavior and our perceptions, making our social contacts more superficial. This creates social withdrawal, detachment, disinterest towards others, and deviant, bizarre, egotistical behavior that you might have witnessed in the parking deck this morning. We can't always afford to take the kind of time and money to go on vacations that we need to alleviate this kind of stress. Time and money are tight for all of us despite the need to get away. Stay-at-home vacations are becoming a popular necessity. I mean, when we go out of town, lodging's expensive, it takes time to plan these kind of things, and people opt just not to go, which is an unacceptable solution. So far I've discussed the problems of not getting enough moderate aerobic activity, of the stress of life in an urban environment, as well as the problem of not being able to always afford the kind of time and the money to go on extended vacations. Now, I'd like to tell you how hiking in the great outdoors can be an excellent solution to those problems. Hiking is a great form of moderate aerobic activity. As a matter of fact, it's the most efficient form of moderate aerobic activity listed on the Center for Disease Control website, burning 30% more calories than everyday walking. And for a 150-pound person, that's 370 calories per hour. Even more if you're a heavier individual, less if you're a lighter weight individual. And people are more likely to get out, walk, and move about when they feel protected from traffic and safe from crime and hazards. And state parks, forests, wilderness areas, greenway trails are all ideal examples of this kind of environment. Hiking relieves the stress of life in an urban environment. According to the article Urban Environments and Human Behavior that I cited earlier, green spaces and the natural environment provide not only an aesthetically pleasing setting, but a restorative experience. And lists among the benefits of nature freedom from stress, ecosystem connectedness, challenge, sociability, self-control, and health. And also it goes on to state that the freedom and control aspects seem to be the most important because they stand in contrast to an urban environment which is perceived as constraining. Hiking is an affordable and convenient way to get away from it all. The cost is fairly minimal. Your main expenses are gas to get to the trail and supplies. Supplies really mean shoes on your feet, clothes on your back, some snacks and some water to get you down the trail. And you've got those things already. Time commitment can be pretty low also. A day or an afternoon might be all that you need. According to the book Best Hikes Near Charlotte, published by the Quad Press, there are at least 40 hikes within 90 minutes of Charlotte. Within that distance, you can access greenway trails, nature preserves, state parks, wildlife refuges, lake trails, mountain trails, and a national forest. Some of you might be thinking, this sounds like it could be difficult or I might get lost. Well, don't start at the profile trail here on Grandfather Mountain. Although highly scenic, it's rugged and it's a bit indistinct. I recommend starting out with our local state parks. According to the book Backpacking North Carolina, published by the University of North Carolina Press, state park trails are generally well maintained and well marked, and stream crossings, even minor ones, are bridged. Within an hour of Charlotte, you can get to Crowder's Mountain State Park, Mora Mountain State Park, Lake Norman State Park, and Kings Mountain State Park, which is in South Carolina, but the same criteria applies. So far I've discussed the benefits of hiking as an efficient form of exercise, as an effective way to reduce stress from living in an urban environment, and as a convenient and affordable way to get away from it all. I've hopefully addressed some of the concerns that you might have about pursuing this highly rewarding activity. But what will you experience if you take up hiking? If you're willing to travel a little further, let's say within a 4-hour range, there are significant rewards. The Great Smoky Mountains National Park lies on the North Carolina-Tennessee border. It's the most visited national park in the United States and contains over 800 miles of trails, including scenic sections of the Appalachian Trail and the Mountains to Sea Trail, which is our North Carolina State Trail. The Grand Canyon of the East, Linville Gorge Wilderness Area, is about 3 hours from here on the other side of Morganton, and has easy trails and some of the most difficult trails in the state. The highest point east of the Mississippi, Mount Mitchell State Park. I haven't been here yet, but the weekend following exams, I plan a 2-day hike, and I'm going to ascend Mount Mitchell. I can't wait for that. And then there is the Joyce Kilmer Memorial Forest. It's an easy 2-mile loop, and it passes through one of the last stands of old growth forest left in the state. Virtually everywhere else in North Carolina has been logged repeatedly. So, in summary, I've discussed hiking as an efficient form of exercise, as an effective way to reduce stress of life in an urban environment, and as a convenient and affordable way to get away from it all. I previewed some of the wonderful places that you can see if you take up hiking. And today I urge you all, go hiking. See firsthand some of the wonders that nature has to offer. Feel a greater connection to the natural world around you. The weather's perfect right now, and nothing could be more important than your health and happiness. To ensure that you can access a hike that you can confidently enjoy, today I'm supplying you all with a map of Crowder's Mountain State Park, and I hope to see you there.